Hello and welcome to Fresh Face One Shots. My name is Joey.
And I'm Jacob.
And today we are back with Superman by Joshua Williamson. This is issue number 29. This is Legion of Darkseid, Part 2, Legion Lost. So, let's talk about Superboy Prime.
I think we need to... Okay, you know what? Let's just do full spoilers. Like,
yeah, we always do full spoilers.
He's not evil at the end, I don't think. I think so? I think we're planning something because Williamson, this entire issue, is playing with metatext. Like, here's the thing about Joshua Williamson. He is an author who will wear the authors that he loves on his sleeve. Like, and this issue, that is, in a lot of ways, Jeff Johns and Grant Morrison. And arguably Wolfman and Perez, the Crisis. Like, Williamson characterizes Superboy Prime incredibly differently from the way that that Johns did in the Green Lantern run that I've read so far.
I think
that's where I know.
I think historically, Superboy Prime has always been a rather metatextual character, but is never really treated this almost Deadpool-esque way of him literally commenting on his own meta-ness. At least not in a lot of things that I've read with him. But I find this really interesting because we have like the sort of classic opening here of, we know Superboy Prime's backstory. He's a kid that knew Superman comics growing up. He wanted to be Superman. And he's giving his whole backstory here. And he's literally telling it. That opening narration that would describe the character's backstory is actually him saying this to Superman and to Time Traveler / Doomsday. And the metatext is apparent like from the very first page. And first off, aside from him being incredibly fun, yeah, the metatext is great. I think really the
metatext is great.
Wonderful. Yeah,
Dan Mora's art. I mean, we can't just keep saying Dan Mora's art is great, but my God, Dan Mora's art is great. I've read this issue twice now because I read it yesterday. Recording this on a Thursday. I read this yesterday when it came out. I flipped through it today just because Dan Mora's art is fantastic.
It's art, yeah, of course. It's wonderful.
I don't think they have him changing because he's on so many things right now.
I remember seeing something where like Mark Waid, as they were working on World's Finest together, was like, I'm pretty sure Dan could do 2 monthly books at least, like consistently, and I believe that. And to do that and to still turn in such a high quality of work, like I think is just insanely impressive.
I think Mora does a lot with the body language in this issue in particular. Like, especially between Superman and Superboy Prime. Like,
yeah, because very quickly we write out Doomsday / Time Trapper, and Superboy Prime starts literally breaking the narrative. He's smashing apart panels and being Superboy Prime, the man that brought Jason Todd back from the dead.
The man that brought Jason Todd back to life until the New 52 wrote that out of history, I guess, and just made it a Lazarus pit, which...
It's for the better. Let's be honest.
It's fine. Adaptation, but I like the madness of...
Oh, of course.
It's punching a hole in the universe.
Yeah. We also here start developing more on like the fact that... Oh, go ahead.
The one line of dialogue is, "Come on, get Silver Age with me?"
Yes, I love that one. Yeah.
So my point is, Williamson is aware of the metatext he's playing with, and then is subverting it. And I think so. My case for Superboy Prime not being evil is we're kind of also following heist movie logic of, if you see the plan laid out in advance, something's going to go wrong. We didn't see the plan laid out in advance.
That's true.
I think this is part of the plan. I think this might be part of the plan. Superboy Prime is genre savvy enough. A lot of the emphasis is on how Superboy Prime believes himself to be redeemed, which could also be an interesting comment on, like, characters who were at one point good, going evil, then becoming good again, a la, like, Hal Jordan with Hal Jordan's fall in the 90s, and then Green Lantern Rebirth. That could be what Williamson is doing.
Yeah, because there is also and like in developing that, like Superboy Prime also says at one point that, like, yeah, it's like, I've killed so many people, but also they've pretty much all been brought back to life. Like, am I still like a killer? It is this question of, like,
they came back to life. Were they ever dead in the first place? Which, if we're talking in terms of the metatext, a bad writer, that's actually kind of true, because a lot of times in comic books, we do the death and resurrection of characters. Bad writer will do the resurrection and completely erase the impact that the death had. Unlike, like, I think that's very much a thing that happens, and I think that actually happens probably in the last 20 years or so more often than not, because last 20 years is when we kind of went, I'd argue, is when we kind of went wild with resurrection.
Oh yeah,
like,
and especially with constant reboots. Yeah, exactly. Like,
like,
it's been like this for a while. Yeah.
In DC in particular, because I think Marvel is a little more stringent on Dead is Dead, not by much.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. But also, like, I love this idea of, like, going to a horrible alternate future, this horrible 31st century, where the Legion of Superheroes are dead, and, like, Superman's own history is changing. We see this, of course, in, like, him saying that, like, he doesn't remember who Booster Gold is. At least knows he has to save him. But also, like, if the Legion's future changes, then Superman's past changes because of his connection to the Legion. Which is a really cool idea, as Superman and Superboy Prime go and eventually find the survivors of the Legion of Superheroes. We start to, delve into, like, how history has changed, what they're doing to try to stop Darkseid and his Legion. I like this.
Also imply that this is only one universe and one possible timeline of many possible timelines. Like, I know the DC multiverse is, like, generally what 52 multiverses, or no, 52 universes. But I'd argue, like, timelines also can splinter. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like say something like Flashpoint isn't, like, an alternate universe. It's just another timeline. Yeah. But anyway, I love this other this Brainiac that the Legion has created. This copy of Brainiac. I really love this idea. As now this is
they didn't create this. This is a Brainiac from the implied heavily to be from the Absolute Universe. Like,
oh god, yes. Wait, yep.
Yeah, because it's like, this is not from our timeline. He's from a world created by Darkseid, which, I'd argue, that's the Absolute Universe from what I know about the current Absolute lines.
Yeah, I totally forgot about this. Hang on, because I'm actually reading Absolute Superman. Yes, you're correct. Yeah.
Oh, is this a...
This is a big... Brainiac's a big thing in Absolute Superman right now, yeah.
Here's the thing. I have heard some things about Absolute Superman. Not much, but I've heard, like, nothing but glowing recommendations.
Anyone, including me, can highly recommend literally any Absolute book that DC's putting out right now. You could read literally any of them, and you'd be getting some pretty high quality DC, no matter what. So, anyway, but yeah, we found more of the survivors of the Legion.
Starman?
Yeah, like... Starman is fucked up. Yeah. And Superman.
Legacy becomes this massive theme, and part of me is like, "Oh, you want to tie into the movie so much, Josh? I see what you're doing." It's not a criticism. I'm like, you desperately want to tie into the movie, and I respect you for it.
Yeah. Eventually we start moving out with our Legion survivors and our Supermen, our Superboy and Superman. It's confusing. And we realize, I love that Cosmic Boy here is not in fact Cosmic Boy, and is in fact Chameleon, and is killing Brainiac 5, and is causing all kinds of hell for our Legion survivors as Superman goes to rescue Booster Gold. As he gets, I guess, rather reacquainted with Booster Gold. I like this little conversation.
Love the way Williamson characterizes Booster. Like,
yeah, because he's been here for 2 years. They say, like, he's been here, he's been tortured for 2 years, and Booster has changed. I really, really love that. And as we begin closing out the issue. Superman and Booster are found by Darkseid's Legion, and Superboy Prime, as we've alluded to multiple times throughout this review already, seems to be working for the Legion. We get the if you can't beat him, join him line at the end here, and you've laid out a compelling argument, Jacob, and I could see this going either way. I can see this going either way, though.
It's the terrible problem of I can see it going either way, and being good. Here's the thing. This, I think, has contended for one of the strongest issues of the run so far, which is kind of weird to say. Like,
I mean, Williamson is just continually upping the ante, and I mean, like, he's so good. He's so good at what he does, and I wouldn't be surprised if he just blows it out of the park again next week and writes another one of the absolute strongest of the run so far, because I'm loving this arc. It's really, really good. So
it is so good, and well, I can't believe. I want to know this man's secrets. This man is also getting ready to is co-writing the DC event of the fall/winter. And
Joshua Williamson has been writing nearly every single DC event for a long time now.
Yes, at least this time he's co-writing with Scott Snyder.
Yeah. But still, the man is
so he can have a little bit of a break.
The man just has an insane work ethic. So, all that said, I think that does it for today. I guess be sure to check out other Fresh Face Songs we do. Obviously, we cover Superman by Joshua Williamson, but we also cover Wonder Woman by Tom King, Trinity Daughter of Wonder Woman, the spin-off of Wonder Woman, as well as Batman The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween, the end of the Long Halloween saga. We also cover The Uncanny X-Men by Gail Simone while it still exists. Afterwards, we're going to jump into Unbreakable X-Men, also by Gail Simone. Also, be sure to check out the main podcast, Fresh Face Comics, to which this is a spin-off of. At the time of this coming out, we have just not that long ago released an episode on The Amazing Spider-Man Volume 4. It's the end of the John Romita run end of the Steve Ditko run. Going into the John Romita stuff. And actually, as we're recording this, we're just about to record our next episode for Volume 5 of Spider-Man, where we're really getting into the John Romita stuff. And then we have a new mini Marvel block after that, so be on the lookout for all that when that is out. Check out the Blood Studios Patreon. You can join at 3 tiers, Cadet, Ensign, and Lieutenant tier. You can get your things like your name in the description of every video, early Star Trek reviews, Star Trek commentaries, as well as more Fresh Face Comics. If you like that podcast, you get even more of that. It's the conversation before the conversation where we talk about literally whatever. You can also check out our link trees, our socials, and everything are in the description below. You can follow us wherever you want to follow us. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, Blood Studios. Any of your support means the world to us. Until next time, this has been Joey Morgan.
Jacob Licklider.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.